So dumb. Welcome back, guys. We're Pete and Eric, and this is Not Your Daddies podcast.
We weren't going to actually record this week either, because last week we were supposed to record an episode, and we had some, hold on, let me just kind of fix this really quick. We had some stuff happen that we couldn't record. It's been quite a long few weeks, but we're here and we are talking about the infamous
Ash Trevino.
Trevino.
But that will be...
we'll get to her.
That'll be the big subject of the day.
We'll get to her. So I think for more than anything, I think it's been really tiring for you. Yes. I feel like I haven't, even though I see you every day, I feel like I haven't seen you because we're used to being together most of the day, and it just, I don't know, it feels weird that we're not. Do you want to say why?
Yes. So I guess we'll start with our pit and peak of the week. And if I sound more nasally and congested than usual, it's because I'm barely getting over a slight cold that I contracted from some family members.
I know.
All of us got sick. My whole family, like one after another.
There was, including me.
Yeah. He rarely gets sick.
Yeah, I rarely get sick, and then I got sick. You got me sick, and. Luckily, I got over it pretty quickly, but I still felt like phlegms throughout like the last couple of days, and I was like, oh my gosh. But man, there was. And
I'm quite the opposite. Like ever since I've been a little kid, I can remember like when I would get a cold or a cough or whatever, it would last so long. They'd have to give me shots or vaccinations, take me to Mexico. I mean, I've always had like a crappy immune system.
As a kid, would my story, I always say, like, oh, don't let him go outside, don't let him play outside, or were you always like kind of like...
I was a little bit of both. Like, I would go outside and play, but then sometimes she would get after me, so I wouldn't. So it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, because sometimes they say that
keeping your kids indoors is not a good thing.
Like their immune system, because when Leah, our niece Leah, when she was little, she was always playing around outside in the dirt and stuff, so she has a really strong immune system. But Aria, who she's always prone to getting sick, she was there. I think they were a little more cautious with her, where she's like, don't let her get dirty, don't let her go outside, or not as much as with Leah. So I feel like that makes a big difference. And I mean, not that me as a kid, I wasn't the type to be outside, and playing in the dirt or whatever. But I feel like, because of my cousins and stuff, we were outside.
Like natural things.
Yeah.
I think it was the same reason. Like I was kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah.
For my situation, but I was always sick, and I've always been just prone. I feel like now that my goodness, now that we haven't been eating that great and healthy, because I think for a while I was doing so good. I was like, oh my God, I'm never getting sick. I haven't gotten sick. Yeah, but I think lately I have been getting more sick.
But there's a reason why we haven't been able to get on our routines throughout these past weeks or whatever. But we're on it.
But anyways, what I was getting to was my pit of the week. Unfortunately, my uncle did pass away on Thursday, of last week. So he passed away on Thursday, very unexpectedly. It caught us super off guard. He was already sick with some other situations, but this was like nothing really related to that. It just kind of like threw everybody on a curveball. So we dealt with that, and then Friday, then 2 days later, my mom on Saturday was with my aunt and the family, and they were just kind of having, just kind of being there for her. And she fell because they were going to go get ice cream. The ice cream man was passing by the neighborhood. They all decided to go outside. She was trying to keep their dog indoors when she was trying to close the door. And at my aunt's house, there's like kind of like a pretty sudden step from the front door to the porch area, and my mom was trying to keep the dog out. She closed the door. She has really unfair balance at her age already. She's had a few falls already, and she's getting to an age. So she went down to the cement, fractured her hip. They had to call the ambulance. Mind you, this was all happening when we were at work that day.
Yeah.
So I had no clue what was going on. She's good now. She had to go get surgery the next day on Sunday. So we were I was there with her. So was my aunt and the family. Right now, she's just trying to recover. She's in a lot of pain, but we're there. Everybody has been trying to go visit her, call her, FaceTime her. I've been every single day,
yeah.
almost like 8 hours a day there. Luckily, she is at the same hospital that my sister works at, so she can keep an eye on her when she goes to work. And yeah, we're just trying to keep her positive, keep her encouraged, motivate her to fight through the pain, because if she wants to, be back on her normal routine, she's going to have to bite the bullet and learn to work on that leg.
Yeah, but the good thing is that she has everybody to kind of keep motivating her, because I've heard stories of
some people are not that fortunate.
That people say that that's their kind of their downfall, because they don't have the family members to push them to
motivate them.
Not only family members, but somebody to push them to motivate them. So, or
visiting them or something.
Yeah, but at least she has us to kind of push her, and everybody she has a big support.
Oh yeah, and then also after my uncle passed away. 2 days later, my mom fell. The next day, she had surgery. She was recovering, and then on Monday it was my uncle's rosary viewing that we went to. On Tuesday, we had the mass for him and the burial. And yeah, it's just been kind of crazy. And then on top of it, all of us have been sick, so we're just trying to, oh no, But the peak of the week so far is that she's doing better. So,
yes, that's good.
That's the plus side.
And then my pit, aside from, because I think we'll share that part of the pit is the passing of our uncle, but my personal pit is my back. Oh my god! Yeah. So all of us, every so often, every couple of months, I get a pinch of my sciatic nerve, and because we were sick, I guess the coughing kind of made that nerve unlock or lock up or whatever, so my back has been hurting. It doesn't hurt as much right now, but oh my god, it's been so bad. And I've been trying to stretch and doing all these exercises. Luckily and fortunately, it hasn't been as bad as the previous times where I can't get out of bed. Now it's I just feel sore. And
I know.
I feel it, that pinch, but before, how it's
it lasted about a day. Well, the main pain, where he was having a hard time getting out of bed and walking and all that stuff, because sometimes it does last
a few days. Yeah, 4 days.
So I'm just glad that it kind of worked its way out.
Especially because everything that's going on right now. So I feel that. And then my peak, I feel, is that I shaved my head. I've been trying to let my hair grow we have been trying to let our hair grow for the longest time. And Pete's hair is longer, and I feel like it goes really well with him. I'm still I was still in the awkward stage where it was either keep it or toss it type of deal, and I decided to toss it because oh my god, I couldn't deal with it. I just felt really dirty. I felt my self-esteem was so low. So as soon as I shaved it, I was like, hey, I'm back. I thought I was gonna regret it, but I don't. I think the only time I regret is when I go on Instagram and I see all these guys with long hair that way I wanted it, and it's
get a wig.
Oh my god! I honestly did think about it because I see these. I follow this guy that he has really short hair, but he owns a wig thing, and it's all long hair, short hair, for guys or whatever.
So he always installs them.
Yeah, and I probably would just do it, just kind of for Instagram videos or TikTok videos or something, just to kind of do. But I mean, I would. I honestly, I would totally do it. And it's I've seen a one that's it's braids, and I feel like that's what I would start.
Honestly, that's what I kind of would. Well, my hair's flat now because we put the headphones on, but earlier when I was at my mom, my hair was still tight with the curls, and I just started messing with it while we were watching TV there in the hospital room. And then she's like, "Oh my god, your hair's so puffy," and I was like, "Oh really?" And I went to go check it. I feel like if I just zhuzhed it enough, it looked really good. It was just puffy, curly, and I liked it. But right now it's all flat again because I put the headphones on. But yeah, I've been thinking of possibly wanting to get rows, like cornrows or something. But I'm scared because I don't want all my curls to like start breaking off.
That's the only thing that happened the last time that I had my hair long, and they did my hair. They did the I guess I want to say like cornrows or the braids on me. They did them so tight that my hair started breaking off. So I would just kind of tell whoever. I wouldn't go with the person that we went to last time.
She did an amazing job. She does an amazing job, but
yeah, but
I think they were too tight.
They were super tight because when I took them off, so much hair like was
just started
ripped
falling
off, and I was like, oh, no. So we just kind of be careful with it. Yeah, I feel that it's just been a long couple of days.
I know. I felt like it was already a whole week had passed by, and I'm like, oh my god, it's almost Friday, but it's not.
So this week we went to go watch, or no, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we went to go watch Lilo and Stitch.
No, last week.
Last week. Well, when the movie premiered, I don't know. We went on a Thursday or Wednesday. Thursday. We saw Lilo and Stitch, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
I know you hadn't seen.
So my history with Lilo and Stitch, we go way back. The very first time I ever saw that movie, I was in high school, and it was in French class, and it was all in French. So I was like partially getting some of it. So I didn't really get to enjoy it right off the bat. And, you know, as the years have gone by, I've kind of seen bits and pieces here and there, but I've never sat down and watched the entirety of the movie itself and enjoyed it. So like a day, I think 2 days before we saw it, when I went to go see the movie, we saw it here at the house. Like I put my phone away.
No, it was right the day before.
Oh, well, whichever. I put my phone down and I was like focused and I was like watching. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cute movie. He was like a menace. So I really enjoyed it. Then I had like a fresh start off into the live action, which I really enjoyed it. My only actual like complaint about the whole movie, and it's something so minimal, but I really wish they would have given the little girl, the dang red dress with the Hawaiian white flowers. Well, I think it needed that, like, just little hint.
And here's the thing. I've seen pictures of her, like, with the dress on. Really? I was actually going to send you one of them where... There's
like scenes that they might have taken out.
Pictures, okay. So there's promo pictures, and she's wearing the dress, and she's sitting down, and he's sitting down next to her, and I'm like, I want to send this to my baby because they actually have it. So I don't know why
they put it in the movie.
Exactly. So I feel like that same dress that she had in the picture is the same pattern that she's wearing as a shirt.
Yeah, so that's the thing. They did. I guess they try to say like, okay, well, it's there because she was wearing a t-shirt with overalls, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I didn't like about the movie. I wasn't sure about the little actress who played her. She was really cute. She was really cute. She was really good. The Stitch animation CGI, whatever you want to call it, was really, really good too. Yeah. It wasn't like so fake looking. Obviously, it couldn't be real because it's he's supposed to be an alien or whatever.
And the same voice of Stitch for the live action is the same voice of him for the animated. What I liked is that they used, and not a lot of people know that Disney does this a lot. I do think they do this for every single live action. They used
try to incorporate.
They incorporated the actors, so they used Nani, the voice of Nani
from the animated movie.
Yeah, from the animated movie. They used Nani, which is her name is Tia, I think. And she's a really good actress. And they use the lady who is like the older lady in the movie, in the animated movie. As soon as I heard her voice, I was like, oh my god, that's her. She's like the older lady with the glasses in the cartoon. She comes out in the movie, and she actually has a big part. She's a different character, but she has a big part in the live action. And then the man who plays the voice of David, he also comes out in the movie, and he plays like the restaurant owner where Nani works. And I thought that was really good because I knew that those were the actors from the animated. So when I saw them, I was like, oh my god, that's them. And I was really excited to tell my babe, and he was probably like, shut up and we'll just watch the movie. But I get really excited about these things like, when they put those. I know when they do these little Easter eggs. I'm like, because when we were watching the animated the day before, I wanted to explain to you like who the sister was, like who the voice was, and you're like, who is it? Who? So it was good to see like the next day we saw her, and it's like, okay, that's her. But I really liked it. And then we saw, or you showed me that we're very huge Wicked fans, guys. Like I've always been a Wicked fan since like before the movie. Like it's a whole, I think it's defying gravity, kind of like gravitates me towards it. But when the movie came out and they did all the promos and stuff, and we were like, both of us like hooked on it. Like we were like kind of like a little.
I never knew. I mean, I knew about Wicked. I didn't know like the whole lore of it, and I actually bought the book when it came out back in the day, and I never read it. Like I got like one chapter into it, and that was it. Like I was like, I put it down. Whatever happened years later, and then I kept hearing about Defying Gravity and this and that. I'm like, I don't even know any of those movies. Like I don't know what any of that is. I don't want to listen to it. And then I was like, the movie caught my eye. I'm like, okay, Ariana Grande's in it. You know, it looks cool. I love The Wizard of Oz. Like I've always been a big fan of The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need to get into it because I don't want to be like lost in what's going on.
A big part for you was because of Ariana Grande, right? Yeah.
Mainly so, yeah. But what they're doing now, because they haven't released, and we're already at the end of May.
Yeah.
Or practically June.
And they're about to release the trailer in the first week of June, like
June 4th.
June 4th. So just in a few days they're gonna release it. So
but they're real smart. The way they're doing it, and this is gonna be the only way you're gonna be able to watch it, or I guess to be the first ones to watch it, besides like exclusives or whatever that they've had here and there. They're re-releasing the first one in movie theaters on June 4th that one time, selected theaters, and the way people are thinking they're going to do it, they're going to show the trailer at the very end after it ends. Because they're like, if people just go to the trailer, they're going to leave afterwards.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, they still pay the ticket, you got your money.
Is that what they're going to do?
That's what the hardcore Wicked fans are saying that's going to end up happening. And it makes sense as like, marketing.
Yeah. Well, for them, it'd be like, okay, well, you already paid, so yeah, you can leave.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, whether it's in the beginning or in the end, well, I mean, if it's the beginning, they're like, well, we already got your money, so whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, if you want to really, like, make them sweat it out.
We already watched the movie here at home. Might as well just kind of go watch it at the theaters. We sneak in them on.
I wouldn't, because I'm, like, so paranoid about that. But, yes, so I'm so curious about what they're going to show, because I mean, if you are a fan or you know what's going on in the second part, I feel like it has like a big, what do you want to call it? It's like a totally different movie. I feel like the first one is very cheerful.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things going on.
There's like a turning point of it where it's like one of
totally
them
different
is like
tone,
lighter tone, and this one's going to be a more
serious,
big,
darker
tone, which honestly, we were talking, how you and I were talking about that earlier, where that everybody kept saying that they didn't get any awards for the first movie because they're going to get them for the second movie. But I feel like the first movie was very worthy of all the nominations.
Like I mentioned, awards. Like why can't they have both?
Yeah, I mean,
if it's that good, then it's good.
Yeah, so I just hope that they're not snubbed from this year
I'll be
as
so
well.
Ticked off.
I think they were robbed from every single category. Well, not every
almost
single
every
category.
We won't get into it because then we'll get chewed out. But
no, I do want to get into it. I feel like the best actress, I feel, wasn't snubbed, but best supporting actress, I feel, was, because Ariana was
personally
amazing.
That's nothing to do with the fact that it's Ariana Grande.
No,
but she genuinely feel like she gave it her all and it paid out.
Yeah,
like, in 10 times.
I feel
she made me cry just like within the first scene of the movie.
Yeah, without
chills.
Well, obviously without watching the second part, I feel like maybe, I know the second movie is going to be mostly about Elphaba supposedly, but I think they were saying that they were going to not insert or put her Ariana's name for best actress, and then Cynthia Erivo was supporting actress. I feel it should have been the opposite.
Because it's kind of tough. Like,
yeah,
I feel like
you can't put them against each other.
Yeah, like you don't want to pin them against each other, because then most of the time, from like quote unquote award history, like they end up canceling each other out, and obviously they both can't win and whatever. But I feel like they're both very, you can put them either way. And last but not least, about Wicked, so we can move on from that. They just said today, I read an article, like a little article, that they're in the middle of editing the movie, which I've heard.
That's technically what we were supposed to be talking about really quick, but
so apparently they are like trying to work their magic and finish the movie by editing it all. But they ran into like an issue where they feel like they are missing a piece, like a scene or I guess a big core at the Shiz University. So they are they're calling all the actors, taking them back to London, and they're going to refilm.
Yeah, so basically they called everybody in because they said without that scene that it wasn't going to piece the story together.
Like
which is
that,
so I'm
like,
curious to see
moment.
what it's going to be. So
But apparently it's costing them like a crap load of money.
yeah, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, they said. Oh my gosh.
So
But we have some Am I the Asshole stories. And
of today's podcast.
do you want to start with yours?
Sure.
Yeah. Some of them get me angry when I'm reading them, and I was like, oh my gosh. But
Okay, this one I really liked because we can talk about it in so many ways. But anyhow, it says, am I the asshole for not disclosing that I am not Christian? To preface this, I do commissioned artwork and I don't discriminate against any subject unless it's racist, homophobic, otherwise hateful, or sexually disturbing. She does not, unless it's one of those.
yeah.
Or they. I did a commissioned art piece with Christian iconography. What's that word? Iconography.
Iconography.
Okay, that. A beautiful ornate cross, a saint, and scripture in calligraphy. The client was happy with my work, paid me, and then asked me what my favorite scripture was. I was honest and said, oh, I don't really have one because I'm not Christian and wouldn't really know which ones I like. He became upset and told me that he felt lied to because I have posted artwork of Christian subjects in the past, and he assumed I would be Christian.
Doesn't mean anything.
He said the art doesn't hold the same spiritual value because it wasn't made with quote-unquote faithful intention. I was kind of unsure of what to say. I said, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I do artwork for everyone, and I'm open to doing Christian artwork because it's for the client, not for me. Should I be disclosing if I don't share a certain faith when commissioned to do artwork for it?
Definitely not.
Definitely
I feel
not.
like it should. It's just like any other job. Like, why would anybody disclose their religion or need to disclose their religion?
Their religion, race, sexuality, political, whatever. Like,
yeah.
I feel like if it's just especially when it comes to artwork, it's a non-biased. They already said their only like red flags would be,
any hateful stuff. Yeah,
hateful stuff, homophobic stuff, whatever, racist things.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I feel like, and how does it have any less faith? Like it wasn't made in faithful intentions or whatever. Like it's what you believe in, and this was for you.
And I don't personally identify into any religion. I grew up Catholic, but growing up, even now, I feel like a lot of like Christian faith people or followers or whatever, they have a very different mentality. I feel I didn't want to say the word like hateful word, as the word, but we've encountered so many, especially throughout like our career, like current career, like with our job, and it's like,
they don't practice what they preach. Unfortunately,
that's what I feel. It sucks because my God, there's so many hateful ones, and like everything bothers them. And I feel like not only that, I feel like they're the worst. But I think us being a gay couple, we are. We're able to freely express that because we have encountered a lot of people or some people that are Christian, and because we're a gay couple, they are discriminating against us. Like we had a client who at the time didn't know we were a couple. And this was for our photography business. And then afterwards, she knew, but she kept trying to like bug. Was like, "Are you guys brothers? Are you guys brothers?"
I feel like that's
and her rude attitude towards us, was so.
She was very snobby.
Rude. Like she felt superior, and I was like,
there you go,
girl. And then the it was for her daughter's quinceañera. That was a Christian quinceañera, and it's like, girl, really? Like, I feel like she regretted hiring us after she found out that we were a couple, but we did our job. It was a good job.
I mean, but like the same way that this person that did the artwork, I mean, we don't care. Like, we do our job.
Yeah.
We respect, as long as you're respecting us, we respect you. And even sometimes when they don't respect us, I mean,
bite our tongue.
we have to bite our tongue.
Yeah.
We're not going to be rude. We're not going to have that, review or somebody has. I mean, if they want to badmouth us, even by inventing things up, they're going to do it. But at least we know on our conscience that we did our work respectfully, supplied what you paid for, and we were just being ourselves. But yeah, it is unfortunate that there's always the bad seed in anybody, like whether it's religious group, a race, whatever. And unfortunately, that's sometimes the worst ones are the ones that everybody remembers the most.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Because I know there are some people that here and there that are Christian and they're really nice and everything, and they're not judgmental, and
some of our friends are Christians, but
I feel like the mass majority of people that we run into encounter are quite
strangers.
the opposite.
Yeah, strangers, I feel. I have one. It says, am I the asshole for not delivering food I made for an event I got uninvited to?
For not delivering food to an event they got uninvited to. Okay.
2 weeks ago, I was invited to a baby shower from a friend who I haven't seen in years. She moved to another state, but had apparently moved back and now is having her baby shower here. I was so excited since I haven't seen her in so long. She started a group chat with all the mutuals she invited. She did disclose that this was gonna be a quiet and small one since we had just found out she was pregnant when she was 35 weeks with an induction scheduled on her 37th week. So she just found out she was pregnant. We all started volunteering to be responsible for different things for the baby shower. I said I'll cook Filipino food and help pay for some of the decor. I sent money to the friend who was in charge of the decorations. I asked mom-to-be how many people are invited besides the ladies in the group chat. She told me 15. There's 10 of us in the group chat, including me, so I thought I'll cook for 50 people to be on the safe side, just in case she invited a few more. I started shopping for all the ingredients. I started prepping and decorating and coordinating with the decor lady. We figured where we wanted the food and grazing table and told the mom-to-be she approved. Now, the day before the baby shower, I spent the whole day cooking.
The day before. What the heck?
I took off the day. I only work part-time since I'm a primary caregiver. Mind you, I had to arrange my mother-in-law to watch my baby while I did all the cooking and for me to go to the baby shower. I didn't want to bring my baby since I would be busy with the catering. It was my luck she was off those days. Then the night before the baby shower, she DM'd me on Instagram that she had to make hard decisions and had to uninvite me. But she still wanted me to drop off the food.
Girl, bye.
I told her I understand and respect her decision, but I will not be dropping off the food. She asked me why, and I told her it wouldn't make any sense for me to drive 75 minutes to drop off food to an event I'm no longer invited to. That's the only reason I volunteered to do that, to do what I said was because I was invited.
Of course. She
asked me how she was gonna find someone to cater on such short notice that it is fucked up and hateful. A few friends sided with her while most of them sided with me. I want to know from strangers' perspectives if I am the asshole.
Hell no.
Hell no. I would have been like, you know what, girl? And this because this girl...
She hadn't even talked to her for a long time, hadn't she?
And she said she cooked for 50 people just in case. So there was going to be way extra food. I did read an update where she said she took the food to a shelter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to a
I thought she took it after all.
For women and children.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Filipino... Guys, Filipino food is so good.
It's so good.
It's so delicious.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on what they make, it's going to be complicated.
Yeah, difficult to make.
So she was going to invest a lot of money on the ingredients and everything.
Some of it takes some of like one dish sometimes takes like the whole day. So imagine making multiple stuff at the same time. Man, I would be livid if somebody uninvited me. Given the fact that, like, I'm in charge of all of this, I'd be like, you know what? Screw you, because yeah, you're not getting any of this.
But how funny that she thought it would be okay that the girl having the baby shower thought it would be okay by the friend, quote unquote friend, to just go drop it off an hour and plus.
I'm surprised
far away.
I'm surprised she didn't say and drop off the gift too.
For real. Don't forget your gift.
Don't forget your gift. I know
She's
that's
ridiculous.
so crazy. Yeah,
But you know what? I believe it because there are some
like
people
that.
that are super, selfish, and they get quote unquote baby brain and blame it on that when in reality it's just them being.
I feel like that's just an excuse.
Yeah, that's just an excuse. Or when they say, "Oh, she's being a bridezilla, don't mind her." No,
she's just a bitch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sometimes
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I feel like in this case, it's like why would you uninvite? I wonder if she was the only person that got uninvited.
I know that's another thing I was wondering if
it's like if you're the only one that got uninvited and you're in charge of the food and you made extra food, like
she should have uninvited somebody who wasn't in charge of the food.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been a smarter move on her end. And mind you, like this girl's over here. Aside from cooking the food, she had to find somebody to take care of her kid for the whole day.
And then 75 minutes drive.
Yeah,
75 minutes
and
there
another way
and
back.
That's hell.
Like
no,
she was
that's
going
crazy.
above and beyond.
Yeah, I'd be like.
I'm glad she decided to go take it to a shelter or something.
Moving on to our main subject.
Main
of
event.
The day. Let me see.
No. Moving on to our main event of the night.
Our main topic of the day is a little rabbit hole that we went down that I feel we were never going to get out, and I'm glad we're out, and we never want to talk about this ever again in our lives. But Miss Ashley Trevino is a 36-year-old mother from Texas who got famous on TikTok for doing nothing.
For doing nothing and known for all the worst things. All these bad things.
She is known as the worst mom on TikTok.
Yeah.
Which honestly I believe. With everything that I was reading, I really did go into that rabbit hole. I had a huge migraine. My whole face felt like it was melting. My eyes were hurting. I had to take a nap because there was so much stuff. There was so much stuff on this girl, and yet not stuff. It was like, I feel like it was they talked too much for not saying anything at all type of situation. My God, with her, it's something else. And then I got you into like some of he relentlessly kind of skimmed through stuff with. I know you didn't want to.
I'm honestly not a fan of like all the drama. My babe likes to be in the cheese man on TikTok and looking at them. I don't. I'm like, I could care less.
I some because they pop up, but her,
the person's like super famous, and I do want to know the tea.
And I wanted to know why she got so famous on TikTok, and she kind of blew up like this year, the beginning of the year, like in January, February, and
at least to us,
like she blew up, and she's because all her lives and all this drama going on or whatever. But honestly, I feel like why? Like, what is it
Guys,
about
she's
these
not funny.
people?
Well, personally, this is all my opinion. I don't think she's funny. She doesn't have like any charisma. She doesn't do dances. She doesn't do makeup tutorials. She doesn't do any of the stuff that you would think like, oh, okay. She literally just goes on from what we've seen TikTok battles, which is so dumb because it's like people roasting each other.
Yeah.
And
we just found that out
today. What exactly that was?
Well, I knew what it was before, but he just found out what it was. But I feel like what is about all these people sending people money for nothing? Like, you're not.
Like, they're literally sending. It's like Eric and I are talking crap to each other, and our quote unquote followers for each one of us are sending money to see who's gonna win.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
They
won't both win because they both get the money.
Yeah, that they're getting sent.
It's so dumb. But
that's like one of her main things that she would do like every day.
One of the reasons that she got so infamous on TikTok, and it's not good. It's not a good thing. It's because of her daughters. You know, people were saying that she would verbally abuse her daughters, and you know, she wouldn't feed her daughters. So there's a lot of these
that her
videos
don't have beds.
That I think one of the biggest things that kind of feel like blew over, where it's like people noticed that. I think she was showing like footage of her room, of their rooms, their apartment. And people noticed that her daughters only had an inflatable bed on the floor. And I think what pissed people off the most is that she is over here flaunting that she has Gucci bags and Louis Vuitton bags, and that she
can show you
makes
the
like
receipts
thousands of dollars. Yes,
she even claimed to make $12,000 one time with a live.
One of the lives, and it's like,
what the
you
hell?
can't get your girls like a bed. So she has all these people offering to get them beds. So she does say, well, they don't need beds. They don't need a bed. But she says that the reason that she never got them beds is because she couldn't decide whether to get them two like bunk beds or twin beds or like a queen size bed or whatever. It's like, girl, just get them a freaking bed. Like, what does it matter? Like, you have all this money, but
supposedly,
then I don't know if you know, but on TikTok, people can see like what you buy. Yeah. So people were coming after.
Like, I feel
like invasion of privacy.
Yeah, invasion of privacy.
People were like kind of coming after her and saying that some of the bags that she were buying were like off-brand bags.
Like dupes.
There were dupes. So she was saying, that's what she was like. I'll bust out the receipts or whatever, because we saw several I don't want to say documentaries, but like videos of her, because we were trying to gather as much info as we got. So we
cross-referenced.
We saw the podcast of the Camila. Something. That's the first thing that I was going to
some Camila girl.
Yeah, and she was in it, and with her daughters. I feel like the daughters felt they
looked so awkward,
uncomfortable. Which to me, I feel like, how does your daughter? Because her daughter has 1 million followers. She looks so uncomfortable on camera. How do you have 1 million followers? This is what I don't get. Like, as far as, and I'm getting kind of like riled up here, because how do these people have so many followers for not doing anything? And then we have a lot of other people who are actually trying in their videos, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, or whatever,
their content,
the quality, everything, and then they don't even reach half, or not even a quarter of that, like 10% of what it is. And it's like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand what it is about people, mostly like
we're so basic
us in America, who people feel like, maybe they think that's why they think that we're so uneducated, because of the stuff that we follow and the stuff that we encourage, because people are encouraging this behavior, because otherwise it wouldn't be happening. I feel like people might have been seeing it for quite some time, seeing her getting drunk and doing drugs and doing, you know,
the mom,
all this
not the
and
daughter.
that. Yeah, the mom. And then people love watching it, and apparently like the people that watch her are like teenagers and like kids, people in their 20s. Like, you're a 36-year-old woman. Like, do you think you want to be like, do you really want to be that type of influence for people? Because that's what you are. Like, you're at this point, you're quote unquote an influencer, so you're influencing that, even though you don't want to do that. Like, I know she was flaunting that she was dated men in jail. Like, she had like 2 boyfriends in jail. Like, one of them was in jail.
I think technically that's how they said that she got started on TikTok. That's how her name became like out there, or was put out there. She was in a group with other women that are, I don't remember exactly what they call them, but they only date felons, you know, men that are in jail, who have records. They pen pal them, they marry them, they whatever, like that's their thing. That's that was like a group of women that would do that on TikTok and talk about it. So, you know, she kind of got famous for doing that, and I guess starting drama with their men's or whatever. And like then she started doing her lives and kind of like started the ball rolling.
Crazy.
But they were mentioning that she's only married mainly felons.
Twice already. I think
she's currently married. Well, at that moment, she's currently married to another one, and she's in the middle of getting divorced because now she's talking to another guy. But that guy's a good guy because he's a Christian guy from like Arizona. I think she said
he's being sarcastic.
No, that's what they said.
Yeah.
I'm just repeating what they said.
Yeah, but that's what she said. He's a good guy or whatever. But I've seen pictures of him. Man, how does she get these guys? Like, I feel like some of the guys like
are decent looking.
I'm not trying to hate, but we're hating. I know that she's been called she's had CPS called on her several
Yeah.
times. She says that there's like 20 CPS cases on her.
And that they've all been closed.
They've all been closed. They've been closed for a reason. I'm pretty sure CPS can't really find anything
Yeah.
on her. But I feel like if CPS is doing a home visit and they see that the girls don't have an actual bed, like what is her response?
Like red flag.
Like what would her response be? Like that should be a
you
red
can only
flag
dance around it so many
automatically.
times.
Yeah.
Like if I'm the caseworker and I notice like just the bed thing alone, whatever, I'd be like, okay, and she gives me some BS excuse. I'm gonna come back in a week and I'm gonna find out. And if you don't have the bed,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm so sorry. How many times are you gonna come back and the bed's never there?
The bed's never there. I feel like that is.
I mean, to begin with, guys, we know from personal experience, not to go into detail about that, but this whole CPS system is like just flawed.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
it's
going to
not
say.
there
I feel
for-
like the system is so flawed, and
and we've heard so many cases of kids that unfortunately, end up dying because the parents abuse them and blah 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 blah. So
and
whatever.
just the fact that I feel like CPS could have so much stuff gathered on her, like all her videos alone. Like you're going,
She looks
there's
so
so many
like a train wreck.
there's so many clips of her being a train wreck. Like I don't feel like she's a good mom, and like the girls, honestly, they deserve so much better. I know they were on that podcast, and the host said, "I'll adopt you," and she's like, "Yes," like right away. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were. I mean, it was joking, whatever, but it's just I feel like you as a mom.
I mean, they
like,
even asked the kids point blank, like, do you feel embarrassed or do you feel uncomfortable with your mom going live, and all this other stuff, like to get their insight. And the girls pretty much said, yeah, like they're embarrassed. They don't like for her to be going live.
Yeah, but to her, she feels like the internet's the one trying to get her in trouble, because.
But it's like,
because
girl,
of
you're
that.
literally putting yourself out there in front of millions of people watching you live, doing all this reckless crap. Like nobody's out to get you. You're
I know.
literally putting yourself out there.
Let's put the pets thing aside. Like, let's say, okay, they have their mattress. I mean, they have their air mattress or whatever. Feed them, girl. Like I heard or I saw that she would spend up, and she was holding up her receipts and showing off how much she spent, and it's like $800 worth of like junk food. Mostly, I think her thing is bean dip and
Hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos. Also, don't sleep on that because we like that. But like as food, like I did see a clip where her daughter was like asking her for food, and she's like, "You want me to cook for you? Oh, you want me to cook for you?" And it's like really like.
Or hey, order them Uber Eats if you're making so much money.
Something like I feel like, but like I feel like they wanted a decent meal instead of just kind of like all this junk food. Now I'm thinking, is she or is she not on like welfare, or like how they give food stamps or whatever, and the state will give you certain amount of food, and that's how she's buying the junk food, because $800 worth of junk food is ridiculous. And a lot of people, and I've seen firsthand, a lot of people who do receive the help, that's what they spend it on. Like just they take advantage of the system, and I feel like that's what she was doing.
Also, side note, they did make a comment where she gifted her daughter like some Gucci bag, that like some expensive Gucci bag, when her daughter hit like the 1 million followers. But people were saying, like, rather than spend the money on the Gucci bag, get her something that she actually needs, aka
like
the
a bed. And she said
or whatever, something that's going to benefit them.
And then she claims she's buying her these Gucci bags, buying all this Sephora makeup. And then one time she said she spent like $6,000 on 2 Louis Vuitton bags in 1 month. You have all this money for that, but you don't have money for furniture. Like, girl, come on. Like, I don't get, unless it's true where people are saying that you're buying off of Temu, where it's like, the off-brand bags.
And she was also mentioning that, because she was living with her parents when she had the girls, and then their dad passed away and all this stuff. So she was trying to make ends meet or whatever. But so the girls, I guess, grew up with the grandparents sort of being a parent figure as well.
That's actually who they're living with now.
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
then she was mentioning that the girls like to that they voluntarily like to be with the grandparents more, and she has no problem with it. So I guess she uses that as an scapegoat to like, well, they're safe, they're with their grandparents, so she's out, wilding out with teens or young age people.
And I feel like her mentality
Is that like
does seem like a
21-year-old,
21-year-old, 19-year-old. Like I know that she's at Disney with her 21, 19-year-old friends. When you can take your own freaking daughters to Disney, like
that's true.
Like out of anywhere you want to go, I feel like Disney is like the one place you want to take your family. If you have family, obviously, if you have kids, that's where you want to take them. But yet you're there without your daughters, but with like kids that are close to your daughter's ages. Like I don't get it. Like
they're closer to your daughter's age than you are.
Yeah, so I don't understand why. I mean, obviously she wants to be partying and stuff, and I'm assuming since they're not of age, she is the one who was buying the alcohol because she's way older. This is me assuming, allegedly. But yeah, even one of her, I know she's had beef like with people that she used to go live with and like doing battles and stuff. And I know with one of the girls that she started to have beef with is because she was live when the other girl was giving her boyfriend oral. Something else, but in the car. And obviously, I feel like that's on both of them. I feel like, okay, the girl, like, don't be doing that. Oh, I guess
she was in a car with a bunch of friends, so that gives you the kind of people, the crowd that they hang out with.
That she's with. But this girl's like on live and she shows her, and it's like, okay, like, yeah.
And then they ask her about that. Well, like she's like, well, she shouldn't have been doing it, and they're like, well, you shouldn't have been showing it on live.
Yeah, I feel like both of them, but
they're both
the whole online thing, it's like, why her account didn't get banned for that alone? It's like, okay. We see you, TikTok. It's just, it's so dumb.
Like an endless amount of dumb and reckless behavior that has led her to.
It got to the point for me where it's like, you know what? I don't want to know more about this girl. Like, I don't need to know more about this girl. What I am glad that happened is that her downfall made it a downfall. I feel like they finally stopped kind of putting her like on that pedestal, well, quote unquote pedestal,
feeding the monster.
Yeah, because they did ban her account, and then I don't know if she started.
I don't know why they banned her account. Yeah, so she's been so reckless. The fact that she's been gotten blocked and banned so many times that I think somewhere they mentioned that she's had anywhere between 7 to 9 accounts at this point.
God, that's so crazy.
And the main account that she had, which had like 1.1 million followers, was banned the next day after she was like at a bar or something, from the sounds of it or looks of it, and she went to the restroom and she was live with her friend.
She was doing a battle.
Yeah. Oh, she was doing a battle or halfway, whatever, with that Heffa girl, and she flashed her biddies, her hoo-ha on live, and yeah, that's when they officially banned her account, which I think at this point she probably has another
Shouldn't
one.
That be like some sort of like illegal like ness? Because I'm sure most of the people following her are underage. But man, just the fact that I feel like that could have been the main reason what her downfall was, and people just probably just started gathering all this information.
She's just real trashy.
She really is.
Corriente. And I mean, I don't like that sort of influencer.
Not our vibe.
Not the content that I like to watch. I honestly get annoyed with a lot of like drama, very like obnoxious creators.
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason why she never popped up on our feed.
Yeah, I think.
Which I'm glad that she never did. The only reason I found out about her is because everybody was posting her, not even on my TikTok. They were posting about her on Facebook. And then I got really curious as to like what the whole thing was, and then people started like quoting her, like all this stuff, and that annoyed me simply because like I started seeing like clips of her, and I was like, really, you're like trying to give this person clout? It's very much like I don't think you know who that is, but that Shawty Bay girl,
the one that showed up in the
I feel like I don't know who her
You showed me a clip.
where she's like famous for doing nothing, and it's like
She's just being like obnoxious, dramatic.
It's like, and then she's not a Nash TREVINO for sure, because I've seen clips of that girl. Apparently, she seems like a nice or whatever, but like it's that crowd. I feel
That
like
type of vibe.
No, it's not my vibe
Yeah.
for sure. And I feel like just take care of your girls, like take care of your daughters, girl. Like, and I feel now that you got banned, I don't know if she has her account back or one of her accounts back. I know when I was trying to check on TikTok, there
Somebody
was one
popped
that had like 600,000 followers, and the account only had like a month. So I don't know if it's hers or it's like a fan
Yeah, because
account.
apparently this happened in the beginning of April.
So it's like
The ban.
crazy.
I don't know. I just feel like and not to say that's to everybody, but since she's a young mom, from the looks of her daughters,
Yeah.
and maybe she's been through it with drama or whatever and struggles.
Yeah, I'm
But
not gonna deny that she's
yeah,
been
but
through
I'm
it.
saying
She
like
looks like she
that
has.
type of personality people, and we know some people like that
Yeah.
and we've encountered in our lives. I just feel like they're just so toxic to be around.
Very destructive, I
Very
feel.
destructive, very self destructive, like you mentioned already.
I feel like if anything, kind of falls back on. It goes back to like what you would do for your kids. Like what would you stop? Wouldn't you want to
your
stop
kids to
all
be
this?
acting like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like wouldn't you want to stop all this because of your kids? Like or you're gonna continue and say, oh, I'm doing this for my kids because of the clout, because I'm getting money for it. But to what extent? Like I know one of her daughters says that she was getting bullied at school, and she took her out of school and started to homeschool her. But like, who's homeschooling you, girl?
Exactly.
Because not your mom, that's for sure. And I'm pretty sure that at school or like the district or whatever, the state is gonna require some sort of education or some sort of knowledge of what you're homeschooling them from. And I don't think this girl's eligible for for homeschooling. She's not the lightest bulb in the box, and it's I don't know. I feel really bad for both little girls. Just their body language kind of felt like
said a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like this girl's like she's just ready to continue partying.
From the looks of it, I will say this much: thank goodness that looks like the little girls are not picking up any of her traits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're probably learning from what not to do from the mom, and I don't know. I feel like she's just gonna go be one of those like older ladies that are still like partying and drinking and dating young guys and just trying to live that life that they never are gonna grow out of, and it's unfortunate.
And
it's embarrassing.
Honestly,
too.
I would usually say more power to you, but you have kids. Like in this instant, it's like you have kids. It's like take care of those kids, girl. It's just, man, it's just gonna be it's not easy. It's not gonna be easy for them. I feel like if anything, like,
and it's so funny because you see her in interviews and she just laughs at every little thing. She thinks everything is so funny, and like she can never give you, I don't feel like she's never like serious.
Like that
she doesn't
mentality
take
where like the young mentality where it's like she's not fully developed mentality wise. But whatever. I just hope we don't hear from her anymore. I hope people don't.
I will say this, PSA, stop encouraging these influencers or whatever you want to call them that are doing just stupid things. Stop giving them your money. Stop giving them your time.
Stop giving them clout.
I know.
Stop doing everything. Like stop giving those platforms that they don't deserve.
And mainstream are so pointless, and that's all everybody feeds into, and that's what everybody in the world in the United States sees. And I feel like it's an embarrassment. Like, I feel like, to be honest, I feel a lot of people probably think that the Americans are trash, and that's the representation that they see as people like her and just all these other people and influencers across the board from all social media platforms. I mean, we're nobody, but we're like, I would never want to be associated or be thought of as that type of creator. I think it's embarrassing, and it's honestly just so toxic. I could not imagine being in that realm of creators that know each other or like associate with each other. I'd be so exhausted.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me being like,
I get exhausted with people that we've known, that we've encountered that have been like that, I get exhausted just being around them. Imagine being around like a whole group of people like that.
Constantly.
I wouldn't
and sometimes
be able
it's
to do it.
because they do it because they know it's going to like get them the views, get them the followers.
I feel like some people are like 24/7.
Is it really worth it doing that? Because I feel like mentally and physically, I couldn't handle being around all that and trying to keep up with the drama. It's just so exhausting.
But I'm done talking about her.
Yeah. I was done talking about her before we even started.
Thank you guys for joining us. If you have made it this far, make sure you guys comment a mic in your comments, and please let us know what you think of Miss Ash Trevino and her freaking craziness. And is she the worst mom on TikTok? If she's not, who is the worst
currently
mom on TikTok? But we will see you next week, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.